Hi everyone, welcome back to the Frugal Watchbox channel. Today we're diving into a review of the Casio W201-1BV, one of the smallest digital watches in my collection. This little guy has a 36mm case size, which is not only small but also super lightweight at just 20 grams. If you're someone who likes a watch that's light as air, this is a solid pick. Now, unlike the Casio F91, this model packs 50 meters of water resistance, so you can splash around a bit without worrying about ruining it. And let's not forget the classic rectangular shape. It's timeless. The best part? It's crazy affordable at just $14 to $15, and get this, it has a 10-year battery life. Yes, you heard that right, 10 years. That's probably longer than most of us keep a single watch, right? What I really like about the W201 is not just the price, but also the look and feel. It has that classic no-frills design that I can't get enough of. It's perfect for both casual wear and a sporty look. The digital display is crystal clear and easy to read, even though it's a negative display. The contrast is still good enough that you won't have trouble seeing the time. The only downside is the recess buttons. They're a bit tricky to press, especially if you've got larger fingers. But once you get the hang of it, it's not a deal breaker. No fuss, no hassle. And hey, 10 years of battery life? You can't beat that. Now let's see how it stacks up against Skmei's version, the 1381. While these watches aren't exactly twins in looks, they share a similar case shape, so they're somewhat in the same family. The Skmei 1381 features a resin chrome-plated case with a stainless steel bracelet. It's only about $8, so it's half the price of the Casio. A steal, right? But let's see how they compare in more detail. Let's start with the dimensions of the Casio W201. The case size is 36 millimeters, the lug-to-lug distance is about 40.4 millimeters, and the thickness is only 10 millimeters. The lug width is 18 millimeters, and the weight is around 25 grams. Now, let's move on to unwrapping the Skmei 1381. Let's take it out of the plastic pouch. Pretty basic packaging, but surprisingly, the watch itself is in great shape. Let's start by looking at the documentation. It's a straightforward, single-page manual that covers all the key features of the watch. It includes sections on how to operate the watch, set the time and date, switch between 12-hour and 24-hour formats, adjust alarm modes, use the chronograph, set the countdown timer, and enable the dual time mode. The reverse side of the page is in Chinese. Now, let's remove the watch tag. Looks like we've got the old-school Skmei tag here. Then, we get rid of the blue protective plastic on the clasp. Next, we'll quickly peel off the protective plastic from the bracelet. And finally, the last sticker on the case back. Now let's look at the Skmei's dimensions. The case size is 35.4 millimeters, which is a bit smaller than the Casio. The lug-to-lug distance is about 43 millimeters, which is longer than the Casio, and the thickness is 12 millimeters, which makes it slightly thicker than the Casio. It features an 18 millimeters lug width similar to that of the Casio. It weighs around 62 grams with the stainless steel bracelet, so it's noticeably heavier than the Casio. Moving on to the dial, bezel, and features of the Casio W201. The case, bezel, and glass are all made of resin, which helps keep it light and durable. The shape is that classic rectangular design with rounded corners, simple, but it works. There are 4 recessed plastic buttons. The 2 on the right control the 12-24-hour format and the light. On the left, you've got the mode and adjust buttons for easy navigation. Everything is pretty intuitive and user-friendly. These recessed buttons are great because they prevent accidental presses, but let's be real, they're pretty tough to operate even if you've got small fingers. It's a bit of a workout to get them to press right. On top of the case, you'll find the Illuminator imprint, and at the bottom, it says water 50M resist. Nice and clear, right? The panel on the W201 is black, with a thin gray line running immediately around the display panel. At the top of the panel is the Casio logo, followed by an orange-colored 10-year battery imprint. Yep, 10 years, folks, this thing just keeps going. At the very bottom of the panel, you'll find the W201 model number and alarm chronograph in orange as well. The negative display has the day in large letters on the left side, and to the right, you'll see the month and date. Below that, there are small indicators for ALM, alarm, and SIG, hourly time signal, which will appear depending on your settings. At the bottom, there's a large, easy-to-read display showing the hour, minute, and second. Even with the negative display, the readability is pretty good, and there's no issue with viewing angles. Now, let's move on to the Skmei 1381. The case is made of ABS material, and the glass is resin, so it feels light but durable. The chrome-plated case matches the stainless steel bracelet perfectly, giving it a pretty polished look. At the top of the case, you'll spot the EL luminous imprint, and at the bottom, there are two large buttons, start/stop and the other one for adjust. The two buttons on the right are for switching between the 12 or 24-hour format and set, while the one on the left is for light and mode. These four buttons have double functions depending on what feature you're using. The left buttons are for noctilucent, that's for the backlight, and left, while the right ones are for right and adjust. Honestly, I think the left and right buttons don't do much at all, but hey, they're there. The noctilucent and light buttons, though, only control the backlight. At the top of the gray-colored panel, you've got the Skmei logo and alarm chrono imprint. Below that are the countdown timer and dual time imprints, just to let you know what functions you've got on hand. Further down, you'll find the 5 alarms imprint. When activated, a line appears above the alarm numbers. And at the bottom of the panel, it says water-resistant 30M. So, just a heads up, the Skmei has only 30 meters of water resistance compared to the Casio's 50 meters. It's a little less splash-proof, but it'll still handle a little water. On the top panel, there's a large day display right in the middle, and below that, a thin line divides the top and bottom panels. Below the line, there's a large display for hour, minute, and second, followed by smaller indicators for the year, month, and date. The viewing angle on this watch is pretty decent, though if you look at it from the side, you might still notice some of the digits and letters in the background, but it's nothing too distracting. The Casio W201 comes with the standard Casio strap. It's softer than the straps you'll find on the higher-end Casio models, but don't let that fool you. It's still dependable and should last for a few years. I've had mine for a while now, and it's still going strong. On the other hand, the Skmei 1381 has an adjustable stainless steel bracelet that's still shining bright since it's new. It looks pretty decent for the price, no complaints there. But it's worth noting that the bracelet is quite generic. It doesn't have any logo or branding on it. It's a bit like wearing a nameless brand jacket. It gets the job done, but doesn't scream premium. Moving on to the casebacks. Both watches have stainless steel backs with the necessary details imprinted. On the Casio, you'll find the module number, Casio logo, model number, water resistance rating, and all the usual details. The Skmei, though, keeps it simple with the Skmei logo in the center, along with the model number and water resistance rating. Both watches pack a range of features, though each brings its own style. The Casio W201 includes world time, dual time, and regular timekeeping, which shows the hour, minute, second, PM, month, date, and day. The stopwatch boasts 1/100 second precision, capable of timing up to 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59.99 seconds. It also has modes for elapsed time, split time, and first/second place tracking. Perfect for those who want to race against time, or just keep track of their coffee brewing. Plus, it has a daily alarm, an hourly time signal for added convenience. The amber LED backlight with afterglow ensures you can easily read the display in low light. It also has a full auto calendar valid up to 2099 and an accuracy of plus or minus 20 seconds per month. And yes, it offers a 12/24-hour format for time display. The Skmei 1381, meanwhile, brings a solid variety of features as well. It has multiple display modes for timekeeping, alarms, a stopwatch, countdown timer, and dual time. It shows the week, year, month, day, hour, minute, and seconds, and has the option for a 12/24-hour format. The calendar is accurate up to 2049, and it also offers 5 alarms, an hourly time signal, and a 1/100-second chronograph with split functions. It's pretty convenient if you're a fan of tracking multiple times at once. Plus, like the Casio, it includes dual time tracking, great if you need to keep an eye on 2 different time zones. Now about that backlight, this is where things get interesting. The Casio's amber LED light is nice and clear, and it illuminates the whole panel quite well. It's good, no doubt. But the Skmei's electroluminescence lighting? That's a step up. It's not just functional, it's one of the highlights of the Skmei. The backlight on this one is bright and evenly distributed, making it super easy to read in low light. Next, let's talk about the alarm sound, starting with the Casio W201. Unfortunately, the alarm on this model is so soft, it feels more like a polite suggestion to wake up rather than an actual wake-up call. Honestly, if I relied on this, I'd probably just snooze my way into next week. On the other hand, the Skmei 1381 doesn't mess around. Its alarm sound is louder and more assertive, like it's yelling, "Get up or else." Definitely a better choice if you actually want to make it to work on time. Both watches are almost identical in case size, so when I wear them, they sit just right on my slender 6.5-inch wrist. Not too big, not too small, just the perfect fit. They feel comfortable and balanced, neither bulky nor too tight. Whether you're looking for something that fits snugly or just enough to make a subtle statement, both of these watches work really well for a wrist like mine. So, which one is better for you? If you're on a budget and looking for something that offers solid functionality, the Skmei 1381 is a great choice. It's affordable, has a decent build, and offers a range of features that will definitely satisfy someone looking for a budget-friendly, feature-packed watch. Plus, that electroluminescence backlight is just a nice touch. But if you're a Casio enthusiast and prefer something with a bit of that classic, timeless Casio vibe, then the W201 will probably steal your heart. It's well known for its durability, affordable price, and of course that 10-year battery life, 50-meter water resistant. Plus, it's a Casio, so you can trust it to last. It's a no-nonsense, reliable watch that won't break the bank. So, there you have it. Both of these watches offer great value depending on what you're looking for. Whether you're a Casio fan or just hunting for a solid budget option, these two are definitely worth considering. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below to let me know which watch you're leaning toward. Until next time, stay frugal, keep ticking, and remember, time is money, but these watches won't cost you too much.